Hello and welcome to Kickoff on the Commodore 64. And well, I remember this came out in the Amiga. It caused quite a stir. People are beside themselves with the enthusiasm of what a great game it was. Although it did have a few bugs, but anyway, eventually we got the 64 version, and oops. Let's get started. Now, of course, if you played the Amiga version, and I suppose most people have, or at least seen it, it's a sort of overheads, vertically scrolling football game. And that's football as in the soccer type variety, if you're American. Let's go for a single game. It used to scroll vertically and was famous for its speed and its great controls, and you had to push the ball rather it didn't stick to your feet, so that's quite a new feature. But the 64 version, for some reason, they switched it to horizontal scrolling. And you can see the graphics are not great, but actually I think they're animated not too badly. It's just the perspective doesn't really work that well, but and actually the feel of the game isn't that bad. I think I'm the blue team. Yeah, I'm the blue team. I don't think it's that bad. I've seen worse football games on the 64, but it's a far cry from Emlyn Hughes International Soccer or Microprose Soccer. It does look very much like a budget game. I mean, you could argue that a football game doesn't need to have great graphics, and why should it? But if you look at Microprose Soccer, you can just see how much it brings to the game. Just the style of the graphics. It's a far cry from this game. But actually, I never had this back in the day, but I've barely ever played it. But playing it now, it doesn't seem that bad. I remember it came out and it got fairly poor reviews, probably from people who are big fans of the Amiga version. But to play it now, it doesn't seem that bad. It plays okay, I think. It does feel, the controls feel like a reasonable sort of kickabout. But it just doesn't have the speed, or it doesn't have the radar. It really needs a radar so you can see who you're passing to, but it's not that important here, I think, in the 64 version, because the game just doesn't play that fast anyway. And like most of these games, they're probably more fun in two-player mode. Don't really feel like I'm in control sometimes. The computer seems to be doing a lot of the work for me. Yep, so that's Kickoff on the C64. Ooh, bit of flicker there. On the 64 for you. It's not great. I mean, I can think of a whole bunch of football games that were better than this. Some of which I've reviewed. But I don't think it's a complete travesty, but not by any means. But I'd definitely rather play some of the other games, other football games in the 64. So I'll give it 3.5 out of 10. I don't think it's a complete disaster. But yeah, a strange decision to switch it to horizontal scrolling. I definitely lost a lot of the speed that the Amiga version had. Right, 3.5 out of 10. See you in the next video.